Here's your news for April 1st, 2020. We are kicking off today with news from Raw. As while The Undertaker cut one of his best promos in years, not everyone was a fan. In the promo, the dead man ditched his usual persona and instead spoke more like the American badass, claiming that AJ Styles only came to WWE when stars like Steve Austin, The Rock, and Shawn Michaels were gone. It's this line in particular that has caused backlash, as Dave Meltzer commented on Twitter that saying that all the good superstars have left rubbed a lot of people backstage the wrong way. This line certainly implies that the stars of today aren't as good as those who Taker mentioned, but Meltzer also noted that Vince McMahon approved every single word of the promo. Commenting on the stars of yesteryear wasn't the only line that caused a stir from the Phenom, as he also referred to Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson as ass clowns, a phrase made famous in wrestling by Chris Jericho. It didn't take long for fans to bring this to the former AEW champion's attention, but Jericho was fine with it, saying, "He's The Undertaker. He can use as many of my catchphrases as he wants." Though Y2J was fine with it, the dead man still apologized for using the phrase, once again showing a more human side that fans didn't expect to see. That human side was also shown when the dead man commented on Styles referencing his wife Michelle McCool, an act The Undertaker says went too far. Claiming that AJ Styles' clash was a worse version of McCool's Faithbreaker, and saying the phenomenal won my ass, Mrs. Deadman chimed in on Twitter, describing her husband's comments as McCool approved. However people may feel about it, the Deadman's promo was still fantastic, and fans can look forward to the very first Boneyard match this weekend at WrestleMania 36. From one legend of WWE to another now, as Stone Cold Steve Austin recently returned for the 316 edition of Raw, and the lack of a crowd didn't stop the rattlesnake from raising hell. While the show ended with Austin delivering a painful stunner to Byron Saxton, that wasn't what Austin originally had planned. As he told Peter Rosenberg of ESPN, "I wanted to go out there and do a sit-down interview with Byron Saxton or Jerry Lawler and talk about what 316 meant to me, because so many years ago, cutting that promo in '96, and all these years later, we didn't have social media. All these years later, WWE making 316 Day because of social media, I wanted to talk about the impact and resonance with the fans and give people something to think about and talk about. We did what we did." It certainly would have been interesting to hear what Austin had to say about the infamous King of the Ring 1996 promo, and we can't help but feel that Byron Saxton would have much preferred to sit down for a chat with Austin rather than to take the stunner. One star who has also made a handful of appearances on Raw recently is Edge, who will challenge Randy Orton this weekend in a last man standing match, though that's not all the Hall of Famer has planned. Speaking to ESPN, the Rated R superstar revealed what he hopes to get out of this new lease on his career, saying, "I want people to say, 'Oh my god, I think he was better this time.' That's the challenge. This story has never been written before. No one has ever taken 9 years off. No one has ever come back from a triple fusion. It's a blank canvas." In that same interview, Edge also spoke about how he hopes to teach the superstars of today, and said the best way for him to teach is to be in the ring. Edge certainly has a tall order in convincing people that this run will be better than his incredible previous tenure, which included 11 world titles. But if anyone can do it, it's the Rated R superstar. Although fans can enjoy seeing Edge's first singles match in 9 years this Sunday, one person who won't be at WrestleMania is Triple H, who is missing the show of shows for the first time since 2007. In another interview with ESPN, The Game described himself as a full-time office guy and said that with each passing year, getting in the ring becomes more and more of a burden to his hectic schedule. He added, "Especially this year, with the way things turned out and what we wanted to accomplish, I was very thankful that I wasn't scheduled to be in the ring this year, because it would have been almost virtually impossible to do everything else that's happening." With WrestleMania being so different to previous incarnations, everyone who appears this year has an interesting challenge ahead of them, and time will tell when, or if, the King of Kings returns to the squared circle. With everything happening right now, it's about time WWE got some good news, and this week, they got exactly that. In recently uncovered documents, it's been revealed that a lawsuit from the Oklahoma Firefighters Pension and Retirement System has dropped their lawsuit against the company. The original suit was filed because the group believed that WWE were using some of their investments to fund the XFL, which was seen as a breach of ethics to stockholders. This lawsuit was requesting documentation that resources were being kept separate between WWE and the XFL, but now those documents won't be needed. It's unknown why the lawsuit was dropped on March 10th, but now it's something that WWE doesn't need to worry about in this unpredictable time. Now, we all know that this weekend won't see the annual WWE Hall of Fame ceremony, and although Georgia Smith has said that her father, the British Bulldog, and the other inductees will receive the nod around SummerSlam, this isn't the only option. Ringside News is reporting that WWE have also discussed the possibility of hosting the ceremony along with WWE Money in the Bank, which is currently set to take place in Baltimore on May 10th. Like most major events in the world, this is likely to be changed, though the WWE will host their next tapings on April 10th, the day after the Orange County stay-at-home order lifts. It's entirely possible that WWE could film their Hall of Fame ceremony at the Performance Center, but for now, nothing is known for certain. We are looking ahead to this weekend, and with WrestleMania around the corner, the problems may not be over just yet for WWE. Those who were meant to be in the Raymond James Stadium will now be watching at home, and this could cause extra strain on the WWE Network, as PW Insider's Mike Johnson explained, "I could see so many trying to log on to the network at the same time, or trying to get to the network at the same time, that it could crash. It wasn't all that long ago that everyone switching from NXT on the USA Network to the WWE Network to get that second hour crashed the network late last year. When NXT moved to USA, fans had to go to the WWE Network to watch the second hour, as the channel hadn't finished their season of Scrubs, which caused major issues for the network. Although this year's WrestleMania isn't the show fans had hoped to see, that doesn't mean they don't still want to see the show, so hopefully WWE will be able to stop any crashes during Saturday or Sunday's events." We are taking a break from WWE to look at AEW now, as Brody Lee has commented on his release from Vince McMahon's company. After an impressive debut, Lee spoke on Talk is Jericho, where the former Luke Harper said that WWE had one final dig at him when he was granted his release. He said, "WWE released me December 8th with a 90-day no-compete clause. My contract would have been up March 8th. Somehow, when I got the letter in the mail, it became a week later where I could not compete on that first Wednesday after it was up. Somehow, it was a 94-day period. I think that was one little extra you to me." After parodying Vince McMahon on the latest edition of Dynamite and having a lot of bad things to say about WWE in interviews, fans shouldn't expect to see the former Bludgeon Brother in WWE anytime soon, though Lee seems more than happy right now in AEW. Back to WWE now, and though the past few weeks have seen the company not host any events in front of a crowd, it looks like that may be coming to an end. Regarding live events, the company hasn't been announcing cancellations or rescheduling, and has instead left that up to the arenas themselves. But right now, it appears that every April WWE live event is off. With that said, the next live event is scheduled to be a SmackDown taping on May 1st in Albany, New York, and as of this video, tickets can still be purchased for the show. We can only hope that the May 1st event will take place in front of fans, as shortly after that show, the WWE are scheduled to go on their European tour. But with travel bans in place to stop international journeys, it's unlikely this tour will happen. We are going back to this week's Raw, as during a 6-man tag match, Montez Ford attempted a mistimed suicide dive that caused him to land very badly on the outside of the ring. During Wrestling Observer Live, Brian Alvarez commented on the situation, saying that it was a big example of miscommunication. He said, "As it turns out, when Montez hit the ropes, Seth was supposed to trip him, okay? Granted, Seth was a little bit late, but he wasn't that late. He actually did get a hold of Montez's foot. Maybe when Montez started running, he realized that Seth was too far away, and in his mind he thought, there's no way this guy's gonna get to me, I just gotta keep running." It's interesting that during a taped show, the company chose not to refilm the spot, and it was certainly hard viewing for fans, as Ford later commented on Twitter that he feels like he broke his back. Hopefully the Raw Tag Team Champion will be okay and make it to this weekend's WrestleMania, but this stunt proves that accidents can happen in wrestling at any time, with or without a crowd. We've got more news from AEW now, as they too have been affected by the current situation and will now no longer be filming at the Daily's place in Jacksonville, Florida. According to F4W Online, the company is now filming at a quote, undisclosed location, and it's believed that this week's tapings will take place there. AEW is reportedly keeping their new location private to stop fans showing up to ask for photos and autographs, as even a small gathering of fans could cause a serious risk to everybody's health. Speaking of Dynamite, we've got some huge matches coming for this week's show, as the company has announced that Cody and Darby Allin will face Shawn Spears and Sammy Guevara. This won't be the only time these stars cross paths, because as part of the TNT Championship Tournament, Spears will face Cody and Guevara will face Allin in the first round matches. The other half of the 8-man bracket will be revealed on Dynamite tonight, and the single-round elimination tournament will begin on the April 8th edition of Dynamite. Tonight's show will also see Kenny Omega face Trent, and Lance Archer make his in-ring debut against a currently unknown opponent. Though fans will have to wait until tonight to see who wins these matches, the results for the latest AEW Dark are already out, as Sammy Guevara defeated Matt Sells. Up next, Shawn Spears defeated Shawn Dean, while Darby Allin overcame a pre-match sneak attack to defeat Preston Vance. In our main event, AEW World Champion Jon Moxley defeated Fabu Andre in a non-title match, but suffered a post-match beatdown by the Inner Circle's very own Jake Hager. And finally today, we're ending with news from AEW's business side, as the company recently filed trademarks for AEW Best Summer Ever and Death Triangle. The Best Summer Ever trademark was filed for merchandise and streaming media, though as of right now, there haven't been any references to the rumored pay-per-view on TV or social media. Hopefully by time AEW's Best Summer Ever arrives, fans will be able to attend their shows once again, as this current situation has caused very real problems for AEW, WWE, and the entire wrestling world.